What if I told you that you were not in the wilderness anymore? Hello, everybody. My name is Patricia Lasky. Thank you guys for joining me today, and thank you so much for supporting our ministry. So, the Lord put a word on my heart for somebody. The Lord is saying, you are no longer in the wilderness, you are now in a waiting place, a place of transition, and it is time for you to take off your wilderness clothes. What do I mean by that? Well, several months ago, the Lord had asked me, why are you dressing like you're in the wilderness? And I looked down at myself and I repeated the question back to him. And I said, well, Lord, if I'm not in the wilderness, where am I? And what the Lord was trying to get me to understand at that time was that I had made the wilderness my home. It was really rough. It took a long time. We were there for a long time. And so I sort of made it my residence. It was, even though the Lord had spoke something different, I didn't receive it at the time because I still had the wilderness mindset, both physically and spiritually. And so today the Lord is saying to you, it's time to take off your wilderness clothes. It's time for you to get in the mindset of prosperity. It is time for you to begin to dress like you have already come out of there. The Lord speaks those things that be not as though they were. So even if it is not that way for you in the natural, it is in the spirit and is going to manifest and become your normal. Okay, the wilderness is over. That door is shut. You cannot go back there, and the Lord wants you to get out of living there. After this, he gave me more revelation, and he gave me a vision. And in this vision, there were a lot of believers there. And the place that we were in was really beautiful. The grass was lush and green, and there was a big white wall in the center of that field that we were in. And everybody, all the believers that were there, were sitting inside the wall. And some people were laying down, some people were sleeping, some people were sitting with their backs against the wall. And I couldn't see anyone's face, but when I looked to the right of me, there were three men, and they were talking. They were outside of the wall, but they were, talking with them amongst each other and consulting each other. When I looked in front of me, there was beautiful crystal blue water. There were palm trees. The sun was shining bright. And when I came out of the vision, I knew exactly what was going on and what it meant. And what the Lord was showing me was that we were in a place of rest. We were in a place of waiting. Everybody that was inside that wall was waiting, and the wall that was around us was a protection. The Lord had put a wall of, like a hedge of protection around those that were in the waiting place. And all we were doing was just waiting to go into our promised land. The crystal clear blue water and the palm trees represented the promised land. And so now the Lord is announcing to you, he showed me that a lot of people still think they're there. And so now he's announcing to you again that you are no longer there, and it is time for you to come out. Begin to praise, begin to worship. If you are someone who maybe walks around your home with pajamas, or, just looking like just wearing whatever at the current time, the Lord is saying it's time for you to begin to dress and look as though you have already come out. He also wants you to change your mind, shift from thinking wilderness things. It's no longer the time for that. It's time for you to focus on what he's been speaking to you, whether it's ministry, marketplace, you're going to run a company, whatever he has called you to. Begin to see yourself that way. Businessman, businesswoman, in ministry, taking care of the homeless, whatever he has spoken to you is where you need to be in your mind. Isaiah 54 says, stretch forth the curtains of your habitation. And what that means is open up your curtains and look beyond where you are. And the Lord is saying it is time for you to look out, look beyond where you are, and see what he has said to you. And that's my word for you all today. God bless you all. I love you all. Talk to you soon.